What is up, you guys? ADJC1559 here, and after plenty of attempts, after plenty of failures, after game crashing, people quitting, all sorts of excuses, we finally got it. We finally did the Shadows of Evil Easter egg, and in retrospect, it really wasn't that hard. But this is my tutorial on how to do the Shadows of Evil Easter egg, you guys. So sit back, relax, and pay attention, because it's going to get a little weird. If you are only here for a specific step, these are the times you can skip ahead into the video to go to the step that you need. Everybody else, keep watching.
Here we go. The ritual has begun. Your sacrifice.
So the first thing you have to do is you have to open up Pack-a-Punch, and you do this by doing the 4 rituals around the map. I'm not going to go into detail of how to do each ritual and all that. I have a separate tutorial on how to do all of them, which I will, you can click right here to take you there right now, or I will also have a link in the description below. But yeah, you have to do that first before you do anything else. Now that you've opened up Pack-a-Punch, what you need to do is craft your swords. Now, if you don't know how to do this, I have a separate tutorial, and you can click here, or there will be a link in the description below, and that'll take you to my tutorial on how to craft the swords.
I ain't got time to go looking for anything better.
Alright, so now we come to this step where you have to upgrade your sword. Once again, I have a separate tutorial on how to do this. Click here, description below. You guys get it. In my opinion, it's actually easier to upgrade your sword than it is to actually get it. That's funny.
My job's hurting people.
Alright, we can start getting into this without me linking you to some other tutorial. Okay, so now you'll notice in Nero's ritual area here, if you come over to this bookshelf and look down here, you'll notice this book. And watch what happens when we click on it. Pretty cool, right? And that's the Easter egg, you guys. Thanks for watching. I'm kidding, you guys. There's still a lot more. But what that did, see, it was a trigger. As soon as you hit that book, what it did, something happened in the rift, and we're gonna go take a look here. What happens next could be pretty confusing for somebody who doesn't know what's going on. Right, so you have to take this flag, and anyone can take it when it's down here. You have to take this flag, and there are these purple spots up on the surface or up here. It'll go into some sort of meatball infinite spawn thing, and it'll pause the current round that you are in, which is good because, you know, no zombies will show up, and that's great. But the flag will be placed here in one of these purple spots, and all you have to do is protect it. It can get very, very hectic. And another thing you should note, you can only do one of these per round. And what you have to do is you take the flag up there to one of the purple spots. Once it's filled up, it'll make a dinging sound, which you'll hear right here in a moment. Did you hear it? It was actually very faint, kind of hard to hear. Anyways, after the dinging sound, a player has to pick up the flag and take it to another purple place of electricity and stuff. You need to do this twice per time. Another important thing, you can't go down. The person who picked up the flag has to stay alive. That's very important. So yeah, make sure to protect that flag. The Shadow Man will appear, but don't worry about him. He does nothing. Now, after you've completed it for the second time, these purple blotches will appear on the ground. Don't touch them. They harm you. Just make your way around them, and whoever was the player who picked up the flag at the end there goes to his ritual area. For example, Nero picked it up in this game, so we are going to Nero's spot. See, see, he just entered the spot, and there it is, right there. You just place the flag close to the angel there, and it turns into a demon. And each player has to do it. Each player has to be the one to pick it up at the end. So in that round, Nero picked it up, right? What you have to do is start the next round, because you can't do this 2 times per round. You have to start the next round, and then in the end, another player, a different player, has to pick it up. For example, this time we had Jessica pick it up, and we're headed over to her theater over here, the Footlight area. Some more helpful advice would be use the Civil Protector. He's actually really useful. It's like a 5th member, and he can revive people and everything. He's fantastic. As well as your Archon Sword. You know, pull it out and then have it like going around everywhere and you know, killing things around. They're super helpful, and it's great. It's absolutely great. It doesn't matter which player is picking the flag up and carrying it to the purple spots. What matters is the player who picks it up at the end and takes it to his ritual site. Now that all of them are done, you'll notice these keepers have appeared over here in the rift area, the Pack-a-Punch area. All 4 of them will appear there as you do the flag steps. Now, what you do next is pretty crazy. Each player activates one of the gate worms, and then he will appear, the Shadow Man. Look at him, he's pretty spooky. Well, they break his shield, the keepers, and he starts teleporting all over the place. And what you have to do is you have to attack him. You have to shoot at him. It's really hard because he's like teleporting really fast. See, we failed here in this attempt because he's back in his bubble there in the middle. If you fail, what happens is a Margwa spawns in, and I believe some zombies spawn in as well. And that's very bad. I would not suggest trying to do the step immediately after. I would suggest you take care of that Margwa and some of them zombies. But, you know, if you won't feel like doing it, you think you can, go ahead and try. So what you need is you need 1 player to be standing over there by the pedestal on the entrance to this room. And what everyone does is they're going to shoot him and actually fall right here, but he'll appear over that pedestal, and then the person who is standing next to it hits it, and it'll actually trap the Shadow Man. And look at that. Pretty insane, huh?
Okay, I don't get out.
Right, so I would recommend for this step definitely get the Pack-a-Punched ray gun. It is probably the best weapon for this step because the ray gun itself is good because it makes him move as soon as you hit him, and Pack-a-Punched because it has a 40 rounds before you have to reload. So because you don't want to reload in the middle of it because you might not get it. Also, I believe the spawn of zombies is infinite or something because it just wouldn't stop for us. So what we ended up doing was we had the person who was near the pedestal make crawlers out of a ton of zombies. So he has a ton of crawlers over there, and he just gets ready to hit the pedestal, training the crawlers. We did take out the Margwas though because that's like absolutely necessary. And once you trap the Shadow Man, you guys, you're set. You're good.
I never claimed absolute knowledge, Detective. I only speculated. I posited a theory.
Right, so the next step starts immediately after finishing that. And you'll notice you'll start getting this purple thing all over your screen. And you'll have to cleanse yourself every once in a while by walking into those white spots, which you've been seeing. That white spot right there, yeah, that I just passed. Also, an infinite round of Margwas will happen. So what it is you need to be into beast mode for this step, right? But to activate some of the beast mode pedestal things, you need to kill some Margwas. Preferably more than one, but you only have to kill one in reality. Just in case you need to stock up on beast modes. But for each Margwa you kill, you get another beast mode. And if you get out of beast mode, you have to kill another Margwa. Now, while in beast mode, you'll notice your meter lasts for a very, very, very long time. and it will only deplete if you are hit by the Margwas. This is just me messing around. I just wanted to see what would happen if I shocked it. But yeah, you'll notice, yeah, the meter's going down like crazy. It will also deplete if you if you let yourself get infected. It'll deplete a lot that way. Now, onto the step. You'll notice the giant worm that the Shadow Man turned into is now in the center of the map there. Also, you'll notice that now there's these 3 keepers that have spawned in the center, in the junction. I'm going to go up to them right now. Remember to cleanse yourself, you guys. But here they are, and they'll actually hold a charge if you shock them. You see? Look at that. It's not for very long, though. It's like, what is it, like 2 seconds, 3 seconds maybe? 5 seconds tops. But yeah, so these 3 keepers are important because you'll be using them in the step. Also, for the Easter egg, you need to find this box, which is located at each of the 3 train stations, right? You'll need to shock these boxes, and what happens when you shock them, the railway lights up like a cool bluish greenish color. It's pretty cool. You'll see it here. Watch. Did you see? Anyway, now that you know all the things you need to know to do the step, let's get on to what to do. Now, one thing you'll notice is every time you call the train, when it passes through the junction, the center, the giant worm in the center will disappear, will be killed. Just a fun fact, if a player has died out all the way, has bled out, and is gone, he will respawn when this happens. So that's good. Anyway, the worm is gone for about 10 seconds. It just disappeared, and then you just saw it there, it reappeared. Right, now this is the hard part. Right, so when that worm is gone, what you need to do is have all 3 of the boxes at each of the train stations shocked, so the railways are lit up. At the same time, all 3 keepers in the junction need to be shocked, so that they can shoot their beams. But the worm also has to be gone, so it requires like a crazy amount of timing, you guys. The worm needs to be gone, the 3 boxes at the train stations need to be shocked, and the 3 keepers need to be shocked. All this simultaneously will trigger the end of the Easter egg. So to do that, we have one person, me, which is here with the keepers. Another person at one of the train stations, another person at another of the train stations, and then our last and 4th person, what that person will be doing is he will be in human mode, and he will go to a station where the train is not there, so he can call it, right? If you fail, you have to go to another location, because you can't activate the train unless you're inside it, and you don't want to be inside it. So what this 4th person needs to do is they need to quickly call the train, and then as fast as they can run over to the nearest beast mode thing, go into beast mode, and then shock the train, the little box that'll light up the railway. So that way all 3 railways will be lit up at the same time. The person at the spawn or at the junction shocks the keepers, and the worm is gone. The person at the junction has to shock the keepers when the worm is gone, because that way the beam can go up. You'll see what I'm talking about at the end here. But the Margwas, just ignore them, you guys. They're not. Leave them slow, you know. Leave them with all 3 heads. It's a lot easier that way. Yeah, just like train them around and then do your thing when you need to do it. Because it's impossible to just keep taking hits from them. Now, the easiest way I've found for the person in the junction to shock the keepers is from this angle. Like, it's very hard from any other angle, I think. But once you did it correctly, you'll be treated to this cutscene.
I'm so sorry. I really don't have time to explain. I have a universe to set right. Thank you, and goodbye.
And that is it, you guys. Oh my god, it took forever. But like I said earlier, it wasn't that hard. The hardest step definitely had to be the Shadow Man step, but once you get it down, it's still a pain, but it's not very hard. But thanks to everyone who helped me complete this Easter egg, you guys. I actually did it like twice because I had to, get it from a different angle. But yeah, it was fun actually. It was quite fun. Thanks a ton for watching the video, you guys. I really appreciate it. And if you could drop a like for me, that'd be fantastic. I worked really hard to get this. But yeah, thanks, you guys. Appreciate it.